You ever cross over into another state and think, God, their liquor laws are really weird? How is it possible that every single state has totally different liquor laws? I mean, that doesn't really apply to just about anything else. Why only liquor? Well, turns out the answer is right here in the US Constitution. Let's talk about why. And if you don't mind, take a second and tell me what your weird liquor laws are in your state. Most people know that the 18th Amendment, better known as Prohibition, banned all alcohol in the United States in 1919. And the 21st Amendment completely overturned the 18th Amendment in 1933. But as crazy as I'm sure that party was celebrating the overturn of Prohibition, not everybody was thrilled to have liquor legalized in the United States. So in order to get the 21st Amendment across that ratification finish line, a couple of things were added to make it a little bit more palatable to those who didn't want liquor to be brought back into our country. So Section 2 was added to the 21st Amendment, which says that transportation or importation to any state or territory or possession of the U.S. of intoxicating liquors in violation of that state's laws was prohibited. That kind of allowed every state to make its own laws prohibiting liquor in case they weren't totally on board with legalizing it. So even though it had become legal nationwide, each state could decide for itself whether or not to let it cross their own individual borders. And because this is a constitutional law, the highest law in the United States, it preempted any other legal authority in this country. So any arguments about privileges and immunities or anything else were overridden by the fact that it had been written into the Constitution and ratified. And that means that to this day, every single state gets to write its own laws about what liquor crosses its borders, in what quantity, and what taxes applied. They also get to decide when it gets sold, where it gets sold, and who gets to sell it. Which is why some states, like Virginia, may have state-run liquor stores, while places like DC have privately run liquor stores. Some states don't allow alcohol sales on Sunday, while others do. And some separate alcohol from beer and wine in terms of what's allowed to be sold where and when. It seems like such an oddly administrative thing to have tied up into constitutional law, but it comes right back to our temperance movement of the early 1900s and subsequent decision that it was maybe not such a good idea. And yeah, maybe I made this in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Sue me, I'm a former bartender.